Audio Jungle.
Let's move on to the second part of the presentation, which is the analysis of main messages, and this part will be presented by me, Tiheng, and Pawan. The first theme of chapter 10 is hardship and survivability. We can study these themes by looking into Harry's life in Bombay. In the story, we can see that Harry's life was not getting any better when the monsoons arrived. Continue from the previous chapter, Harry's life had already been hard. He had to work for long hours in the kitchen house, sleep in the park, and most importantly, he was homesick. Thanks to the monsoon, life in Bombay became worsened for Harry. The eating house became really busy because many people could not do their work due to the rains, and they came and get some meals in the eating house. Harry and the other two boys had to work extra hours to keep the consumer satisfaction with the services. Moreover, the constant rain became the biggest challenge for Harry to sleep in the parks, which forced him to sleep inside the hot eating house. This condition made Harry become sick. Worst of all, Harry's main motivator in Bombay, Mr. Panvala, became sick and could not open his shop as well, and which means that he could not teach Harry watchmaking skill. All of this situation made Harry thought that he was a prisoner in jail with no escape at all. Yet with the desire to have and return to his family, Harry had to continue his work. This theme can also apply in the Tool village, with the toolsman's decision of going fishing. Back to tools, even though the fishermen know how dangerous it was to go fishing in the sea during monsoons, they had to make a call even if there was little opportunity. People can judge them and say that they were fool or they were trying to kill themselves by going fishing during these worst periods. Yet, if we look from their point of view, it was a must for them to go fishing. Both staying indoors and going fishing are dangerous for the toolman. Why? Because as a fisherman, their life depends on fishing. If they do not go fishing at all, they cannot earn income or they could not feed themselves. Therefore, the toolman have faced a dilemma, which was either die because of the cracked boat in the sea or die because of starving at home. Another interesting theme we can learn from Harry is love of the in-group. As we can see in the story, Harry got worried when he heard the news about the Alibaba 10 fishing boat reported missing. Even though Harry nor his family owned a boat, he was shocked to hear about the unpleasant news from his origin place. It was the man from his place who made the incident, and there was a high possibility that those men might be someone he knew. It might be his neighbor or his friends that loved their life. His reaction showed that Harry cared about the people he knew from the village, unlike the truck driver who seems not to understand Harry's feeling due to the fact that he was just an outsider.
So let's move on to the next themes, which is called the spirit of humanity. The spirit of humanity can be shown through Jagu actions. From chapter 9, we had witnessed the kindness of Jagu that he helped Harry and the two orphan boys to work in his restaurant and provide them shelter and meals. In this chapter, seeing Harry did not look well, Jagu offered to take Harry to sleep in his house to escape from the hot eating house. His kindness made Jagu forget his living condition. His place was a slum that had already contained a crowd. By inviting Harry to stay, Jagu had an argument with his wife and he left to go get a drink and left Harry with his wife. Moving to Biju in Tolls. Despite the fact that everyone in the village did not really get along with him, Biju still offered his new-built boat to rescue the fishermen in the sea. These grateful actions of the two characters show how they would help others for the time in need. Sometimes they help the other without even thinking about what was going to happen to themselves. Let's move on to the next themes called rich and poor gaps. Despite the modern city of Bombay, there were slums on the other side of where the modern building was. This showed that the rich and poor had a really high gaps in the story. The rich enjoyed the modern facilities as well as concrete road which located on the boulevard side of the hill. The houses of the rich were large and tall, pink, green, and yellow, and they named it as Sunshine and Seagull. Yet on another side of the city, people in the slums could not properly access the basic need. As mentioned in the story, Jagu's wife had to stand in a long line with other women to get water for the household need. And when the moon sun came, there was enough water, but the roads and paths which everyone used to walk on were covered by mud, which make it very difficult to walk. So that's it for our presentation, and thank you for watching, and I hope that you have learned something new in the chapter 10 of The Village by the Sea.